a motorcycle show that just had people who belonged on the island of misfit toys. And I loved everything about it. The weather, not so much, but it was great. It was called the Colonial Chapter National Meet. There was some debate if it was Harmony, New Jersey, Phillipsburg, New Jersey. I think it's Harmony, New Jersey, but whatever Google Maps tells you, I don't really care. First of all, the general area, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Some mountainside, farmland, nice roads, nice old buildings. It was eye candy. It was absolutely beautiful. The only problem is, you wish there were maybe some more restaurants or something like that you could have stopped in. There wasn't much, to be honest with you, but that's okay. It was just very rural. And, for anyone that goes into the city all the time or anyone who's just kind of more like into the big cities, it was a nice change of pace, to be totally honest with you. As for the grounds themselves, humongous place, tons of room in this location, this fairgrounds. So it's actually called the Warren County Farmers Fairgrounds, actually, to be specific. Plenty of parking, free parking, which is amazing. Admittance to get into this place, $5. And I'll be honest with you, there isn't a whole hell of a lot you can buy for $5 nowadays and get your money's worth. But a ticket to this show was absolutely amazing. To get the minor stuff out of the way, there was some food trucks, lemonade stands, place for some grub, lots of that. No problem. So you can get away with that. Bikes that were scattered all around. I mean, you're talking about some vintage Harleys and Indians, some Sears, some Frankenstein choppers and everything. Plenty of knuckleheads, lots of flatheads. You kind of didn't have much of anything going up to the 80s. You had a few shovelheads, but really beyond that, it was a lot of the earlier motorcycles. And you had plenty of bikes and parts for that matter. So if you're looking to put a project together, you're looking to do a little bit of window shopping, this was the perfect thing for you to check out. I didn't buy anything. We sold some stuff at my booth when I was working for Retrocycle for the weekend and thoroughly enjoyed it. The fairgrounds was nice and spaced out. So the biggest problem the big mistake I should say that I made is that I kind of rushed going from one booth to the next. But then again, I was working, so I didn't really feel like I wanted to take advantage of that time and just lollygag. I wanted to just kind of go from one to the next and kind of walk around the place. Which was a mistake, because then I heard after the fact that there was a booth that later in the day had one part that I needed, but they skedaddled or sold the part. I think they just left early, though, at that point, because it was unbelievably stupid hot. But my goodness. First of all, it was just muggy and hot. Then it was just hot. And then it just rained cats and dogs as we were leaving the place. So it was quite the chaotic place. But, people were walking around. Everyone was being cool to each other. People were walking around with beers that they brought, food that they brought in. Like I said, it was the island of misfit toys. Everything was just cool, laid back. No one had to stick up their ass or anything. And it was just a really fun time being a bunch of just genuine folks. A little bit more on the older side. But honestly, it was... I'm watching the Giants game right now, and they just gave up an interception with two and a quarter left in the first. Oh, awesome. 15-0. Anywho, as I'm recording Sunday night, obviously, I could not recommend it enough. And again, for $5, I mean, if it was $10, it would be absolutely worth it. But I'm just flipping through some of these bikes, and they were great. You're not going to get much in terms of, there are a few cool collectibles. Not much in terms of clothing. Not much in terms of patches or pins that I can really recall seeing. But a lot of good contacts that you can make at the same time in case you need something. So check that out. Let me see if they actually have a website. I don't think they do, but I want to just make sure. No, they do not. But I'm sure if you go onto the Facebooks, you're probably... I'm a liar. Colonialchapter.com. Colonialchapter.com. To be on the lookout for these things. Yeah, cool stuff. I wish they had a little bit more entertainment, but again, I was there for just the one day. I was there for just Friday. I know a lot of people left because the weather just got so unbelievably bad. But it's something where you can have the fairgrounds where if you had like fire pits, if you had some rock bands, like really make it like kind of a whole weekend experience. You can probably do something pretty phenomenal over there. So that'd be pretty cool.